And we're taking a look at radar. We have a couple of thunderstorms out there this morning. Today is a WRAL weather alert day. I'll show you when you can expect to see most of the storms.
Plus, right now at 4:30, a gas station shooting. What we know this morning from this surveillance video.
And Real ID deadline. There are just 2 days left until you need a new ID to get on an airplane. What the DMV is doing to prepare for long lines this week. The rush is going to be on, and it's about to get real. Good morning, everyone. It's 4:30, and here we are at a Monday again. We're glad you're up with us. I'm Renee Chu.
And I'm Jeff Hogan. It is great to have you along. Cinco de Mayo, 5/5/25. How about that? Just like, yeah, you didn't think about that, did you, Elizabeth? Play with numbers.
Yeah, and some numbers for you. We do have the potential for some strong storms, especially later this afternoon. But we're dealing with a little lightning and thunder here in Halifax and Northampton County. That is pulling out, and we shouldn't see anything else during the morning commute. So the morning commute should be pretty quiet, but this is lifting mostly north and east of Roanoke Rapids, so up in the eastern part of Northampton County, then it's headed up into Virginia. It is a WRAL weather alert day, so we're expecting between noon and 6 to see a chance of scattered thunderstorms. Damaging winds and hail would be our biggest threat, and most of this will be east of US 1, so that does include a good chunk of our viewing area, including the triangle. Here's a look at the timeline. By 1 to 4 is likely when we'll have the best chance of seeing those scattered showers and thunderstorms across our area. Be on the lookout for fog. I'm not seeing any of it here in Pinehurst, but on my drive in this morning, there were some hints of it, so there could be some patchy fog out there this morning. Our temperature is 61 and our dew point is 57. We'll see a comfortable high of 80 degrees this afternoon.
2 people have minor injuries after a crash that happened around 2:30 this morning in Durham. The WRAL breaking news tracker was on the scene after a car hit a tree near Hope Valley Road and Garrett Road. This happened in the parking lot of a realty company. Police say they do not believe alcohol was a factor.
Also, deputies are searching for a man who they say shot and killed a convenience store clerk during an armed robbery in Harnett County. This happened just after 11 p.m. Saturday at the Marathon gas station, right at the corner of Highway 87 and Broadway Road. Security video shows a man dressed in black clothes entering the store, wandering behind the counter. You can see a gun in his hand there, and the clerk is 50-year-old Alfredo Maris. He moves out of the way, and the robber then hits the customer standing in front of the counter with the gun. Then the robber shoots Maris. And the Harnett County Sheriff's Office is asking anyone with information about this to come forward.
You have 2 days left to get your real ID. After Wednesday, it will be required if you're flying in the U.S. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us live from the DMV on Avent Ferry Road in Raleigh. Kelsey, the DMV is preparing for longer lines this week as people try to comply with the deadline.
Exactly, Renee. So we're expecting to see long lines at DMVs across the area like this one here on Avent Ferry Road. The DMV has tried to cut down wait times in the past, but they could only get worse now that people have 2 days left to get a real ID. Starting Wednesday, you will need a real ID to fly in the U.S. If you've gotten a new ID in the last few years, it could already be a real ID. If you're not sure if you have one, just look for a star in the upper right corner of your driver's license. Last month, the North Carolina DMV expanded their work hours at 42 locations. Now, most DMV offices are open 10 hours a day statewide, but that still may not be enough to cut down wait times as people are scrambling to meet that May 7th deadline. So coming up in the next hour, our 5 on Your Side team will explain what to do if you don't think you're going to be able to make that deadline and how scammers may try to take advantage of that situation. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Also today, leaders in Wake County will talk about ways to create more affordable housing. The Board of Commissioners is meeting today at 2 o'clock. They'll discuss new ways to fund affordable housing and identify areas in the county where the housing can be built. The county's goal is to reach 2,500 affordable housing units by the year 2029.
This week is a key deadline for bills in the North Carolina legislature. You're looking live at the legislative building this morning. So this is called crossover week. It's generally used as a way to separate the bills that have a chance at passing from the hundreds of others that don't. With lawmakers trying to get their top priority bills through, we can expect to see long voting sessions. Today, House members are expected to consider more than 20 bills. One of those bills would ban social media accounts for children under 14 without parental approval. Now, kids do find ways to get around these bans. WRAL's NC Capitol Bureau Chief Laura Leslie explains this bill would hold social media companies accountable for those loopholes.
So the bill would allow the state to fine these social media companies $50,000 for every kid that slips through the cracks and manages to open up an account. Parents would also be able to sue the social media companies for as much as $10,000 in damages.
Another bill they will be debating would give parents more access to their children's medical records and conversations had with their doctor. Supporters say parents need more access to that information. Critics fear that children won't get the help they need if they know their parents will have access to those records. We will be watching all of these bills closely. Make sure to tune in to WRAL this afternoon from 4 to 7:30 for any updates.
A man accused of kidnapping a mother and her baby will make his first court appearance today. Elidoro Estrada Hernandez charged with 2 counts of kidnapping, possessing a firearm by a felon, and assault. He was arrested by the FBI in Knightdale Friday. Investigators say Estrada Hernandez, along with 2 others, kidnapped the mother and her daughter last Tuesday. They were found unharmed the same day in Wake Forest.
Jury selection in the federal trial for Sean Diddy Combs is scheduled today. According to sources, at least 4 witnesses expected to testify are accusers who have filed civil suits against the music mogul. The central witness is Cassie Ventura, Combs' ex-girlfriend. Combs faces charges of sex trafficking, transportation to engage in prostitution, and racketeering. He's pleaded not guilty.
Building inspectors will need to assess damage to a modular classroom at Durham's Jordan High School after a car crashed into it. WRAL Breaking News Tracker was there on the scene after the crash, which happened about 7:30 last night. The car was lodged underneath the trailer there, and the classroom was knocked off its foundation. Police say 1 person had minor injuries. They've not said what caused the crash.
A motorcyclist is dead after a crash in Fayetteville. It happened on Pamela Drive just before 10 last night. The rider died at the scene. Their name has not yet been released. We're working to learn what caused the crash.
And breaking news, as many as 9 people are hurt after a shooting at a steakhouse in Arizona. This happened in Glendale, which is just outside Phoenix. Police say they believe more than 1 shooter was involved. Officers have detained several people. No arrests have been made just yet, or announced anyway. Investigators say they are still trying to figure out what led up to the shooting. Today, a big change for thousands of student loan borrowers in North Carolina. The U.S. Department of Education is now restarting collection of federal student loans in default. This ends a roughly 5-year-long pandemic-era pause. Student loans go into default after 270 days without payment. The department is urging borrowers in default to start making monthly payments, enroll in an income-driven repayment plan, or to sign up for loan rehabilitation.
TikTok could have more time to find a buyer in the U.S. President Trump says he plans to give the company an extension if they can't meet the June 19th deadline. While speaking to Kristen Welker on NBC's Meet the Press, President Trump says he has a warm spot in his heart for the social media app and that, quote, it will be protected. During his first term, Trump tried to ban the app, citing national security. And now he is trying to keep TikTok in the U.S.
Convening for conclave. This is a live look right now at the Vatican in Rome. What you can expect this week as cardinals arrive to vote on the next pope.
A warning about the produce in your fridge, what you need to watch out for if you have bought tomatoes from a specific brand.
And another day, another round of storms. It is another WRAL weather alert day as we give you this live look in Lewisburg right now. There is rain falling in parts of our viewing area, and meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is in the WRAL Severe Weather Center, timing out the possibility of severe weather for some of us today.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
It is 4:42. We have a cluster of thunderstorms up here, mainly in Northampton County. Lots of lightning with that one and heavy rain too, but it's going to keep lifting up through the eastern part of Northampton County and then into Virginia, and it's not likely to affect any other parts of the viewing area until we get closer to lunchtime. So we do have a level 1 risk for severe storms. Today is a WRAL weather alert day, starting at around noon, lasting until around 5 or 6 o'clock, and you can see that hour by hour rain chances, especially between 1 and 4 would be our best chance of seeing any any of those showers and storms. A level 1 risk means that 1 or 2 cells that develop could produce some wind damage. We also have some foggy conditions out there. Take a look at Franklinton, especially around the Triangle. I'll take a look at our visibility as you're heading out, coming up.
Cardinals from all around the world are in Rome to help elect the next pope. This is a live look at the Vatican right here this morning. All the people there in St. Peter's Square. The process is known as conclave, and the final day of mourning was held yesterday for Pope Francis with a mass in Vatican City. It took place in St. Peter's Basilica, and Pope Francis, as you remember, died April 21st at the age of 88. On Wednesday, now moving forward, Cardinals will enter the Sistine Chapel to begin voting for who will be the next leader of the Catholic Church.
Former Vice President Mike Pence is this year's recipient of the John F. Kennedy Profile Encourage Award. The event took place in Boston. Pence was honored for overseeing the certification of the 2020 presidential election results. In a statement, the JFK Library Foundation recognized Pence for putting his life and career on the line.
TikTok could have more time to find a buyer in the U.S. President Trump says he plans to give the company an extension if they can't meet the June 19th deadline. While speaking to Kristen Welker on NBC's Meet the Press, President Trump says he has a warm spot in his heart for the social media app and that it will be protected. During his first term, Trump tried to ban the app, citing national security. Now he's trying to keep the app in the U.S.
Warren Buffett will step down as CEO of Berkshire Hathaway at the end of the year. He made the announcement at the company annual shareholders meeting over the weekend. The 94-year-old Buffett also spoke about tariffs during the meeting. He called them a big mistake and said they could be considered an act of war.
Expect delays as summer travel ramps up. FAA shortages and real ID requirements could throw a wrench in your air travel. Air traffic controller shortages have already caused delays at Newark's Liberty Airport, and that's one of the busiest in the country. Jen Sullivan has more on what you can expect.
With the busy summer travel season just weeks away, air travelers are already dealing with delays.
We had to wait 2 hours in Los Angeles to even board the plane.
Passengers at Newark Liberty International Airport in New Jersey frustrated.
Have a lot of travel coming up, so hopefully they can resolve this quickly.
Technical failures and a lack of air traffic controllers have disrupted air travel at Newark. United Airlines announcing Friday they're canceling 35 round-trip flights per day from their Newark schedule. CEO Scott Kirby releasing a statement saying in part, Newark Airport cannot handle the number of planes that are scheduled to operate there in the weeks and months ahead. The lack of air traffic controllers is a nationwide problem. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy saying this week the air traffic control stations across the U.S. are short by about 3,000 controllers. They've been offering higher salaries and bonuses as an incentive, but the hiring and training can still take months.
It's our job to actually see over the horizon what the issues are and fix it before there is an incident that we will seriously regret it.
These issues come just days ahead of the federal government enforcing real ID requirements. Come May 7th, all passengers flying domestically will now need a special driver's license or ID that in most states has a star in the right corner. If they don't, they'll need to bring their passport or other approved documents to fly. The TSA warning passengers to expect delays during this transition. Jen Sullivan, WRAL News.
Check your fridge this morning. Fresh tomatoes are being recalled in 3 states, including North Carolina. The FDA says tomatoes from H&C Farms may have been contaminated with salmonella. They were distributed between April 23rd and April 28th. Now, if you bought these tomatoes, do not eat them. Return them to where you bought them for a full refund or throw them out.
Carolina Hurricanes' second round series in the Stanley Cup playoffs gets started tomorrow night in Washington. The Capitals are hosting games 1 and 2. Game 2 is Thursday. Puck drop for both games is at 7 p.m. The Canes will return to the Lenovo Center for Game 3 on Saturday, and Game 4 is a week from tonight. Tickets for those are on sale now.
It is 4:47, and we've been in a wet weather pattern. We saw that all through the weekend. Some of it woke me up in the middle of the night. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. We have just a few showers there on the dual Doppler radar.
And I tell you, people who are in the eastern part of Northampton County are probably awake right now. Boy, this one has a lot of heavy rain and a lot of lightning with it. That's going to move out, and that should be all the rain that we see this morning. But starting again around lunchtime, up through around 5 or 6 o'clock, we could see another round. Here's a look at the big picture. A low is back here over just west of the Ohio Valley with a cold front draped across our area that's just sitting there. And so that's going to be a focus for where we see showers and thunderstorms again today. From the Triangle area eastward, we have the potential for some isolated wind damage. Again, would be 1 or 2 storms that develop could produce some damaging winds. Timeline between noon and 6. Some hail is possible. And again, that outline mainly east of US 1. Here's a look at Futurecast. And we are definitely seeing a mix of sun and clouds this morning. When I walked in, I could see a few stars, but we're actually seeing some fog developing this morning as well, and it's getting pretty thick in some places. This is lunchtime. At lunchtime, a chance of a shower or thunderstorm from Rocky Mount to Goldsboro and then north of Durham. And notice how the coverage from the Triangle area westward is pretty light, so a lot of this will be along and east of I-95, but we couldn't rule it out around the Triangle. At least 1 or 2 cells starting to pop up. So again, once we get past 5 or 6 o'clock, we should be done with it. We do have a special weather statement for patchy fog this morning. Some of that is looking dense in some places, especially Rocky Mount, Goldsboro, Clinton at 1/4 mile. And while the visibility at Durham and Raleigh is at 5 miles, take a look at Durham here. And notice the sidewalk in front of the DBAP. It is wet, so that is some fog that is producing a good bit of drizzle as well. 60 degrees as you're headed out the door this morning. Our temperatures are going to be anywhere from the upper 50s to low 60s, and we'll see a high of 80 this afternoon on our WRAL weather alert day. After that, it's nice and quiet Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, pleasant temperatures, and then our next best chance of rain comes on Friday.
Elizabeth, thanks. Wildfire on the coast. Hundreds of acres burning as crews work to contain the flames. The warning the local mayor is giving as the fire spreads.
And off-field distractions. Pat Welter breaks down the growing drama surrounding Bill Belichick and how it could be affecting UNC's football reputation.
It is 4:53 and kicking off our Monday with a live look at Goldsboro, and it's looking kind of a cloudy, hazy there this morning. A wildfire on the coast has burned 1,500 acres. Crews say it is only about 10% contained. The fire is burning in Brunswick County near Boiling Spring Lakes. This is video from Saturday as it was beginning to spread. Now, the mayor of Boiling Spring Lakes says he is expecting conditions to get worse.
This is probably going to last a few days. We were lucky, no structures burned yesterday. They fought very hard to keep the structures all home safe. But today we just got to pay attention and make sure they're doing their job, and we got to let them do their job.
The Red Cross is helping about a dozen people who evacuated their homes.
Thunderbolts is the new top movie at the box office. The last movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe features misfits and outcasts banding together. It brought in $76 million in its opening weekend. Sinners lost the top spot, but it stayed a strong second. The action horror movie brought in $33 million this weekend, and that brings its 3-week total to $180 million.
UNC hired Bill Belichick as its head football coach to get serious about football. But lately, attention has been drawn away from the field and toward Belichick's relationship with his girlfriend, Jordan Hudson. WRAL's Pat Welter breaks down the twist that's overshadowing the Chapel Bill story.
Not talking about this. No.
This story boiled over after last weekend's CBS News Sunday morning interview. Social media exploded, and now Hudson is the lead of every entertainment outlet in the country. In a vacuum, interrupting this interview doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but it's part of a greater whole. Bill Belichick built his career on no distractions. This has become a giant one.
I didn't come here to leave.
At Belichick's opening press conference, Hudson was there, but in the background. She didn't do interviews. She didn't make the day about herself. I figure given the 49-year age gap, they'd probably like to keep it that way. It has been the opposite since. Hudson was with Belichick in their Super Bowl commercial. She stole the red carpet at the NFL Honors. She was on the field for Carolina's Practice Like a Pro event. According to emails obtained by The Athletic, she's copied on all emails sent to Belichick and is involved in the program's social media and PR strategy. Okay, they want to spend time together at work. She's 24, social media and PR strategy are her wheelhouse. Fine, but maybe the most alarming revelation is from Realtor.com. Hudson has been piecing together a New England real estate profile worth $8 million since 2023. Belichick and Hudson met on a flight to Palm Beach in 2021. The couple's romantic relationship went public in June of 2024. We don't know that's Bill's money, but it seems like a lot.
Belichick says the CBS interview that sparked the recent controversy was selectively edited, and he says it suggests a false narrative that Hudson was attempting to control the conversation.
It has all been a lot so far, yes. 4:56 the time right now. Shots fired in a Raleigh neighborhood during a party at a short-term rental property. The changes people who live nearby say need to happen to make sure they stay safe.
This week is a major deadline for bills in the state legislature. What to expect during crossover week and the future of legislation on social media for kids.
Today is another WRAL weather alert day. This is a live look in Zebulon. And see some of that fog move in. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner was talking about. And after the break, with the narrow window for storms, which counties stand the best chance for severe weather?